I'm either going to die on this treadmill or you're going to get off. There is no such thing as competition. I am delusionally confident. I am the competition. I am my only competition. So every single day when you're facing something or you're challenged with something, this is the approach I'm challenging you to have just for 30 days. Hey guys, you are gonna love this because in this video, I'm tagging you into a private coaching session that I had with my Shift level members. And what we're covering is the challenge that just got released with Shift Immersive Coaching. It's 30 days of delusional confidence. I'm gonna cover the 3 rules that absolutely have to be followed to make this work, but I'm also gonna cover 8 steps to really dive deep on. 8 steps to make sure you go from point A to point Z exactly how you wanna get there at the speed you want to be. So definitely grab a pen and paper, something to take notes on. You are going to love this. Let's just dive in now. Come on, let's go. So what are we talking about? We're talking about this idea, this concept, this breakdown called 30 Days of Delusional Confidence. And it's a challenge. That's really what it is. It's a 30-day challenge for you to have, to hold, to live in a state of absolute delusional confidence. So I'm going to break that down in more detail than I did on the video, and on the video that I posted in the Shift community chat. And I'm also going to actually share with you something that was added that I don't think anyone has seen yet. So this will definitely be a big win for you guys. I'm going to ask that if you have any background noise on, that you just mute your what is it called? Your phone, your computer, whatever you're on, if there's any background noise at all. And then remember, if you have any questions, raise your hand and we'll shoot the questions out there. And there's a raise hand function on the bottom middle left side of your screen. Okay, let's jump into this now. So 30 days of delusional confidence. The first thing we need to understand is how it works. And in order to understand how it works, you need to understand there's 3 core rules. And you know, that's actually not true. I say the first thing we need to understand is how it works, but the truth is we probably should start with why we're even doing it. So let me touch on that really quickly. I have found that our industry is, it's riddled with people that have a lot of wants, have less know-how on how to accomplish those wants, and have less commitment to being the person that accomplishes the wants. So what I started thinking about is, well, why is that the case? Well, everyone wants something. I got that part. That's easy. Well, why don't most people know how to accomplish those things? Well, usually that's because they don't know where to look, or they don't have a coach or whatever, but we've got that part figured out. So what's that last part where it's like, you know, I don't have it in me to do it. The reality is we all have it in us to do it. We need to change. We need to shift how we think. We need a mind shift that says to us, it's okay to think this way. The problem that I've noticed we face is, and you tell me if you agree, anytime I've moved into a state of delusional confidence where I have this truly unrelenting belief in who I am and what I can do and why I'm on earth, somebody always shows up to love me out of it. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? To love me out of it? Like they want, I see Chris Cruz nodding his head. Yes. Like, yeah, I'm looking at you, dude. I see you. So the thing about it is, like, they want to love me out of it. They want to protect me. So what they do is they say to me, well, yeah, but you know, maybe you shouldn't this, or maybe you shouldn't that, or don't necessarily look at it that way because you could fail. Guys, 30 days of delusional confidence means we don't listen to those voices at all. So I'm going to break this down. And again, I'm going to ask that you make sure that you throw your hands up if you have any questions throughout. All right. So looking at my notes here, there's 3 rules. There's 3 core rules to the 30 days of delusional confidence challenge. 3 core rules. The first rule is act as if laws don't apply. So act as if laws don't apply. Now, I'm not talking about legal laws. I'm talking about the laws that you impart on yourself or we impart on ourselves regarding our ability to either level up, to shift, or to just ultimately live in our greatness, right? Because what I have come to find is that, you know, a lot of people want something. Few people are willing to believe, not do it, but believe they can actually accomplish it before it ever happens. And remember, like I was asked this morning, what's my favorite quote? Well, it's confidence is earned by doing the thing. So if you're going to do the thing, then you might as well believe in yourself and your ability to accomplish it. So I want to encourage you guys to live in core value number one when it comes to, or core rule number one when it comes to the 30 Days of Delusional Confidence Challenge, which is act as if laws don't apply. All the things, all the laws, all the rules that you put in place that doubt you, wipe them away. They don't belong to you. Rule number two is adopt and believe in a dangerous level of belief. Adopt and believe in a dangerous level of belief. What is a dangerous level of belief? This is the type of belief that no one understands. You can't talk to people about it because they just don't freaking get it. They think you're crazy, that something has happened to you, that there's been this massive, event in your life that's changed everything about you. This is a dangerous level of belief. This belief is in yourself. This belief is in your support. This belief is in your mission. And it's in your charge that was given to you by God to be here in the first place. Like, what are you here to accomplish? I want you to adopt this dangerous level of belief in you. You've got this, okay? And then the third rule, look, accept and appreciate that your delusional confidence will and should make people uncomfortable. You need to accept and appreciate that your delusional confidence will and it should make people uncomfortable, because too often we are looking for people in our circle that will think like us, not realizing that there is a reason there always seems to be one person in the circle that people in the circle talk about, how they made it. They're successful. They're this, they're that. That's you. Like, that person is you. So what we have to do is we have to say, okay, if that person is me, I get it. But what about them? Well, it's okay. Just accept that they're going to be uncomfortable, because that's not what your charge is for the next 30 days. Your charge is not for the next 30 days to just decide that you're going to baby everybody else through that doesn't understand your greatness. No, for the next 30 days, they're going to have to get their own milk and put it in their own bottle and drink out of the bottle themselves. Mom's not going to be there to feed them. No, for the next 30 days, it's about you. It's about you. And if they feel like something's up or they're uncomfortable, then that's on them. That's not on you. Okay. And I want to give you guys a note, and then I think someone's hand went up. So the note here is, and I'm reading it here as I wrote it. This is not faking it. Like, I'm going to give you guys a breakdown. Okay. I'm going to give you guys a breakdown to what this is and how it works, but this is not faking it. I cannot stress enough. This is about overriding a programming. And it's this programming that's kept you and keeps other people average. And that's not a discount. It's just to say there's so much more to accomplish. And we have to be willing to override this programming. And I'm going to give you some steps in how you can do that. This is, as I wrote, this is a reality distortion. Holy smokes, think about this. It's a reality distortion. So we're going to have some fun with this one. Okay, so before I go on, I'm pretty sure somebody, no, it was a comment that Tazeen dropped in here that says, I make people uncomfortable all the time. Yes, you do, Tazeen. Good job. We're proud of you. Okay, so let's move on. So now I'm going to give you some steps, and I think I have 8 steps here. I think I have 7 or 8, but either way, if you go into the GPT, you can see all these. You just ask the GPT about the 30-day challenge, the 30 days of delusional confidence. Give me 1 second here to come back. Okay, so number 1. Actually, I'm going to put this here. It'll be a lot easier. Bang. All right. So number 1, your first step here is change your default question. Again, if you look in the GPT, all this comes up in your GPT, or at least it should come up in your GPT. The GPT knows this. It's known it since before our mastermind. So change your default question. In other words, and I think we actually broke into this during the mastermind for a bit. The typical response that we get is, what if I, and then something negative. What if I mess up? What if I don't succeed? What if they hang up on me? We need to change our default question. A lot of us have been trained to see the negative first. What I want you to do for 30 days is see your power first. So not what if I mess up, instead, what if I don't? And that's not what we're saying. That's just how I want you to think. I want you to say, what if I pull this off? What if when they call, we connect instantly? What if I'm the perfect person to work with them? What if when I meet them at the house, they instantly fall in love with the house and this is the one they want to move with? The reason I'm sharing this with you guys is because the problem that I think we face is we, like I said, lean into the negative when in fact, it is just as easy to challenge ourselves to lean into the positive, not fake our way through the positive, not say something that we don't believe. Remember, this is about delusional belief as well, right? So we have to absolutely make sure that we adopt this mindset and live this mindset, because that's what's going to work for us in the long run to reach the success that we're looking for. So we've heard things from EWTS, from TPPM, like, could it be possible? Or how would I feel if? I want you to say things like, how would I feel if this actually worked? How would I? And then I want you to think about those things. And look, this is not, these are not affirmations. There is nothing wrong with affirmations. We have a whole section in the 90-day shift launch covering affirmations. I have affirmations. I read my affirmations in the morning, but this is not that. This is training your mind on a daily basis to believe what your heart wants, to believe your ability to accomplish. This is not saying one day I will. This is saying today I am. There is a massive, massive difference in the two. Again, if you have any questions or comments, I want you to throw your hands up because we're going to run through 7 or 8 of these. Next, so we have number 1 is change your default question. Number 2 is preload your wins. Again, not affirmations, okay? This is preloading your wins. So here we go. When it comes to preloading your wins, this is a before life happens, okay? So my encouragement would be, have this printed out, put it next to your bed. But Phil, I have it on my phone. I know, and you know what else you have on your phone? Every other app that's going to steal your attention away when you wake up in the morning. So let's not have this on our phone only. Let's instead print it out, put it on our nightstand, make it the first thing we look at, we review, we see, we focus on, and we tell ourselves as soon as we're up every single morning. Guys, once you're up, I want you to take this preloaded win mindset. You're going to do 3 things. You're going to say, here's what I've already decided about today. I win. Again, here's what I've already decided about today. I win. Now, you're not just going to say it. We're not going to fairy tale BS this. You're going to actually prove it, because the next thing you're going to do is you're going to list 1 reason why you're qualified. Whatever you've got on your boat today, you're going to literally write out. You're going to say out loud. You're going to, however you manage your everything, you're going to put it down and you're going to say 1 reason why I'm qualified. So maybe you're looking at your schedule, maybe you know what your day has ahead of you, but you are not going to talk to yourself about why something might not work. Instead, you're going to tell yourself why you're qualified to make it work. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to remind yourself of 1 client that you've helped. You're going to remind yourself, because sometimes we say something and we don't believe it. So now we're going to remind ourselves that we've already done it. Now, someone's going to say, well, Phil, what if I'm saying something that I've never done before? That's great. This is a stepping stone. So I want you to look at this and I want you to say to yourself, okay, but I've helped this person do this and I didn't know I could do it before I did. So I want you to see that the habits, the skills, the techniques, the tools that it takes to be successful, you already live. They're already in you. But now we need to show ourselves that we can level those up. The third thing you're going to do is you're going to give yourself 1 bold thing that you're going to do today, 1 bold action, 1 bold conversation, 1 bold doubt that you're going to overcome. What is 1 bold thing that you're going to do today? You're going to do these 3 things every single morning. Now, someone's going to say, well, Phil, do I do this on Sundays? Well, if this is your cue to know when you do this, because you're not going to do this every day. You're just going to do this every day that ends with the word day. So if the day ends with the word day, you're doing this. You catch me? So every single day you wake up, you're going to do this. You're going to list out these 3 your one reason you're qualified, your one client that you've helped, and one bold thing that you're going to do today. So think about what's happening. You wake up at 4 a.m., you wake up at 5 a.m., you wake up at 10 a.m. I don't care when. You have already began to train your mind to think differently than nearly every other person that woke up this morning. Because what do most of us do? Most people, when they wake up in the morning, they just jump in and they just do whatever's in front of them. They handle whatever's next. That's not you. We need to preload your day with wins. So that's step number 2. Let me give you number 3. Number 3 is, and I just want to stress to you again, these are not affirmations. This does not take the place of you reading through your affirmations. This is very, very different. Your affirmations are you putting yourself in a place of accomplishing. This is you saying, I have absolute delusional confidence. I know no other way. People think I'm nuts. People think I'm crazy. And that's because they don't get it, not because I'm supposed to get something different. All right. Let me give you number 3. Number 3 is act like you're the main character. Number 3 is act like you're the main character. Well, this is going to be a doozy because some of you have heard me say many times, you are not the main character in other people's lives. You are a supporting cast member. You've heard me say it. You are not the main character in other people's lives. You are a supporting cast member. So Phil, how in the world are you now telling me act like I'm the main character? Well, because I'm so sick and tired of people telling me that they need to fake it till they make it. That's a bunch of BS. You're not faking it. You are the main character. You can't fake your way through this, okay? This is you showing up every single day as the main character in your life. Guys, live in that for me. You're the main character in your life. You have to live it. You have to breathe it. You have to feel it. You have to accept it. Because if you don't, what makes you think anybody else is going to? It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense to assume that other people should believe something that you yourself refuse to believe for yourself. Does that make sense, guys? Give me a thumbs up if you're tracking. Awesome. Thank you very much. Okay. Again, I'm just going to stop for a moment. I'm going to pause and I'm going to say, if your camera's off, turn it on, right? Show up ready to win 100%. Turn your cameras on. I have some coaches that when I get on coaching calls with them, if my camera's off, I get dropped off the call. I don't want to be that coach, but I want you to be a part of the call and not halfway be present on the call, right? You can give yourself 1 hour a month, by the way, because that's all it is. Okay. By the way, I have something to share with you guys about that when we're done. Please do not let me forget. All right, let's keep moving here. So I gave you the 3 cores. I'm getting the initial steps. Step 1 was to change your default question. Step 2 is to preload your wins. Step 3 is to act like you're the main character. While you're acting like you're the main character, here's what I want you to ask yourself. If this moment were part of my life's documentary, how would I move in this moment? How would I speak in this moment? How would I show up in this moment? I want you to ask yourself those questions and then I want you to show up that way. I'm going to give you guys a great example. Morgan is on here, Morgan Robbins, and I know I saw her somewhere. I'm looking for her back here, but she's on here and there you are. I see you now, Morgan. Morgan started a run club with a friend, and I and Riley and Archer said, yeah, we're going to go support this run club. Now, I don't run. I have running shoes that I literally went and got fitted for, and they like perfectly made for me. And I got them about 4 or 5 years ago, and they are in perfect, pristine condition. And I'm going to tell you why they're in perfect, pristine condition, because they have been worn one single time ever. Because I am not a runner. But I went to support Morgan. Tazeen, I already see you laughing, and you're not going to laugh at me, okay? But I went to support Morgan. So on Sunday, I went and I was supporting Morgan, and I went and ran. And what I found was something crazy. Well, I'm in really good shape, meaning like I can run for a good distance and I'm not getting tired. In fact, I was in front of everybody else running. And I was saying to myself, this is neat because I'm not actually running. This is just the pace by which I jog. It was my standard jogging pace. I was not out of breath. I was running with Morgan and someone else, and they had told me, like, if you can talk while you're running, you're running at a good pace. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to do that. I'm good. But then about 50% into the run, something happened. I was reminded why I'm not a runner. It's because my knees are that of a 90-year-old man. I know what you're thinking, Phil. You look handsome. You're in your mid-20s. You must be. You're stunning. You're ravishing. I know, but these knees, they're not. They got stuck on me from some 90-year-old guy that destroyed his knees. So my knees began to hurt something badly. And then I reminded myself of something. What I reminded myself of, guys, is a quote by Will Smith. You might be stronger than me. You might be bigger than me. You might be faster than me, but you'll never beat me on a treadmill, because one of two things will happen. You will either get off or I will die. Now, where does this become important? It becomes important because I actually was in a contest with Alex Archer. We had a $1 bet on who would finish first. And believe it or not, even with my bad knees, even with me saying, you know what, I can barely even walk at this point, I still came in second. Alex beat me. But why is that important? Because I didn't quit. And that's what I want you to understand. I adopted the mindset that your knees might be killing you, but you will not stop. Just keep moving. Now, sometimes I walked, sometimes I felt like I was crawling, but sometimes I also had a good jog pace in again and said, okay, I can see him in the distance. I'm going to catch up with him because he passed me, right? What I want you guys to do is I don't want you to lean on hype or BS. I want you to challenge yourself for the next 30 days to say, no matter what, this is how I show up. I show up at this level. I will not get off the treadmill. I'm either going to die on this treadmill or you're going to get off. There is no such thing as competition. I am delusionally confident. I am the competition. I am my only competition. So every single day when you're facing something or you're challenged with something, this is the approach I'm challenging you to have just for 30 days. What you do after 30 days is totally up to you, but just for 30 days, be the main character. Show up like you'd want them to write about you. Show up leaving them with an impression of who you are so that years from now, when they're talking about it, they say, you remember that one time? Remember that one time during the run club where dude has no cartilage under either of his kneecaps, but he just kept freaking showing up? That's how I want you to show up for yourself. All right, let's keep it moving. Number four, remember there's 7 or 8 of these. In fact, let me just give you how many there are. There's going to be a total of 8. So number 4 is use Shift's belief locking language. Use Shift's belief locking language. What is this? Goodness gracious. You got to speak success into your identity before you have actual evidence. If you have studied the simple sales cycle, if you don't know what this is, go into your Shift assets and look up the simple sales cycle. You will realize that what I'm about to share with you is just reverse engineered proof of the simple sales cycle working. Okay. So you have to, at this point, have belief locking language. So what is your belief locking language? Do you say to yourself, I'm the kind of agent that buyers trust before they even meet me? Or do you say to yourself, I hope I gain trust with this buyer? Because one lives on hope and a prayer, and the other is you saying, I absolutely know this to be true. I believe this about myself. This is who I am, and this is how people see me. Sometimes we're asking people to believe in us before we're willing to show them that we believe in us. And we're going to nip that in the butt right now by committing to belief locking language. Okay. Another example, I outwork objections before they show up. What am I saying there? If you stay ready, what? You don't have to get ready. That's all that is. Just committing to these. You say it, you feel it, you become it. That's what we're doing. So number 1 in these steps here for this 30 days of delusional confidence, number 1 was to change your default question. Number 2 was to preload your wins. Number 3 was to act like you're the main character. Number 4 is use Shift's belief locking language. Let me give you guys number 5. Number 5 is eliminate the permission culture. Eliminate the permission culture. All right, what am I saying here? Delusional confidence comes from refusing to outsource your belief to other people, which too many people are doing right now. Let me show you how we're doing it. We shoot a video. We are already scared to death to post it. We post this video, And then we decide that this video, this content, this delivery of what I have here isn't good enough unless a certain amount of people like it, share it, heart it, blah, 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 blah. Those are called vanity metrics. Don't let your success be determined by other people's decisions on what you've done and or accomplished. That ain't you, at least not for the next 30 days. We're going to eliminate this permission culture, this culture that says that likes prove your value. Okay, that's not it for you. Okay, look, I love to have a cheerleader, but whether or not I get in the game is not determined by whether or not the cheerleaders were on the sidelines before I showed up. Because if you're a real player, you get there before anyone shows up. And that starts with the very first thing you tell yourself every single morning, the very first actions you take every single day. You don't need cheerleaders. You need to get out there and be your own best support system. And then remarkably, you're going to find that cheerleaders show up. And if you're wondering where they're going to come from, I can tell you. Okay. In fact, I will tell you right now, every one of you, so you can quickly identify your first set of cheerleaders. Don't tell them they are your cheerleaders. Okay. But instead, what I want you to do is I want you to have an eye out. I want you to look for them. And your first cheerleaders, guess who they are? They're your current haters. They're your current haters. They're the people that are going to say, oh yeah, I knew them when they were doing this, or I always knew they could do it. Have you guys ever ran into somebody that doubted you and then turned around and said, I always knew you could do it? Well, geez, dude, why did you spend so much time doubting me? Why didn't you support me? So understand that your cheerleaders are already there. They're just wearing the wrong uniform. So eventually we're going to change them into the opposing teams, or out of the opposing team's uniform and into a cheerleader skirt. That's right. In fact, I think we all should buy some cheerleader skirts and start handing them out to our biggest haters and say, you're going to need these. You'll know when to put it on. Like, hey, let's get them some pom-poms. Let's do the whole day bit. So I want you guys to adopt this mindset of eliminating the permission culture. You don't need someone's permission. You need your own decision. Let me give you number 6. Number 6 is create your I did it anyway list. Yeah, we need proof. We need some proof. You're going to create your I did it anyway list. And I'm going to run through these last few so we can close this topic up and I can open up the door to any questions or comments or topics you guys want to discuss. So here we go. We're going to create an I did it anyway list. This is understanding that confidence builds from understanding this topic, that you should, you ever accomplish something and you think to yourself, man, if they didn't want me to do this, they should have fought a lot harder against me. Like I did it anyway. I want you guys to start a log. Okay. So perhaps next to your bed, you've got this page where you list your 3, and then you have this log and you just, every single time, maybe you have your shift journal. Okay. And in your shift journal, you start writing, this client ghosted me, but I followed up anyway. Boom, I did it list. Okay. You start writing. I got really nervous before I shot that video, but I did it anyway. And I posted it and I didn't shoot 42 versions of it. Boom, write it down. I felt really small. I felt really, really small in that situation. But you know what? I took big action anyway. I believed in myself. I moved like I was the main character. I had delusional confidence, and whatever happened, happened. But the bottom line is I did it anyway. I want you to create an I did it anyway list, because the fact of the matter is, hear me on this. Go back to number 5. What most of us do when we need support is we look for permission culture, when what we should be doing is looking at the mirror and saying, I've already done this. I'm already great enough. I'm already put here for this. So you're going to go back and you're going to look at that I did it list as opposed to looking for a cheerleader, because the problem with a cheerleader is they will cheer you on safely. There is a reason why you have some, if any of you guys, male, female, doesn't matter, have ever done actual cheer. Okay, I'm talking like real cheer, like where you go in competitions and you see people flying in the air doing quadruple mini backflips with spins and twists. I don't know what they're called. I can ask my daughter. She did cheer. but there is a real specific reason why you have some cheerleaders that show up on the side of a basketball court and all they do is wave their pom-poms, and other cheerleaders that are actually doing the do. They're in competition. They play at high level. You got to understand, when you lean on other people for support before you show that you support and believe in yourself, you're essentially leaning on the safe cheerleader. The ones that's going to say, it's okay that you failed. You can quit now. You've tried hard enough. No. You don't want them. You want the competition cheer. You want that person that says, no, dude, yeah, you fell. I know your arm hurts. I know you might have bumped your head. But as soon as you're cleared by the doctor, get back in the game. Let's go. We need to get you back. You're a flyer. Let's get you back up in the air. Okay, this is the type of support that you've got to lean onto. And someone's going to say, well, Phil, where do I find that support? Dude, in the Shift Vault. Some of you have already been doing it, and I'm so darn proud of you guys. Some of you guys have, like Ikra, put in her listing appointment, and then the level of support for that appointment and what happened afterwards. Like, I'm looking at this, like, this is amazing. This is what this is about. It's about community and culture that encourages us to win from a main character level, not from oh, you can do it, and just, maybe go for a lesser listing that next time. All right, let's keep moving. Number seven. So you've got that. You've got your list. Number 7 is use a 1-minute mirror reset. We all need it. Use it. Start doing it. Stop worrying about who's around. Use a 1-minute mirror reset. You can do this every morning. You can do this every night. You can do this whenever you need it. I don't care. It can be once every 6 months. It's just whenever you need it. You're going to look in the mirror, and here's what you're going to do. You're not going to worry who's around. So look, if you start getting that daunting feeling while you're at Saks shopping and you're in the dressing room and you know that there's a bunch of people in the dressing room around you and you just feel like that spirit of lack is overcoming and overtaking you, you're just going to look in the mirror and you're going to say, I've got one job. My one job is to prove it to myself. And I'm doing it right now. I've got one job. It's to prove it to myself, and I'm doing it right now. No one else matters. No, what they said doesn't matter, good or bad, doesn't matter. And I'm talking about what your supporters say, what your haters say, and what your clients say. You've got one job. It's to prove it to yourself. So if every single day we get out here and we do everything we can to prove it to ourselves, it's a different game. The key is we need to remind ourselves that we're doing it now, because sometimes we're going to fall into the trap of forgetting that the actions that we're taking are the actions that we need to take in order to see the success that we're looking for. Let me give you guys number 8. We'll do a recap. I'll give you a final note, and then I'll jump into questions, comments, thoughts, and then any other topics you guys want to cover. By the way, I see a lot of our new Miami and Florida friends on here, so welcome. Okay. Also, please don't let me forget, I have an announcement for you guys. I am notorious for forgetting my announcements. Please don't let me forget. I know Carrie won't let me forget, so I think we're safe. Yeah, she's like, no, I won't. All right. So number 8, here we go. Last one. Number 8 is understand the truth of a real shift. Understand the truth of a real shift. Understand the truth of a real shift. You guys have heard me say it before. I said it earlier. Confidence is earned by doing the thing. Please understand that that's not just some cute little quib. Confidence is actually earned by doing the thing. You do something enough, you uniquely become qualified or confident to continue to do it, and you don't even realize your confidence is building. It's when we put all this attention on what could go wrong that we stifle our ability to subconsciously become confident. What I want you to do is I want you to understand that there is only one true way to become confident in anything, and that is by going out there and doing the darn thing. So confidence is truly earned by doing the thing, not by waiting, not by prepping forever. I know you want the most beautiful business cards, but guess what? It's 2025. No one wants your stupid business card. That's just it. I know you look great. Okay. Like if you look at my business cards, they're thick. I'm super handsome, but that's how I am every day. Things like, Carrie, why are you shaking your head like this? I can see you right here, Carrie. I'm looking at you. So, like I said, I'm super handsome. And the reality of the matter is I'm just living in this space where I get that even though that card's really nice, By the time I finished designing my card, Carrie went and got 3 listings that I should have gotten. But I was too busy doing the other things as opposed to the thing that serves my goal, serves my purpose, serves my intention, serves my point of service. These are the things we need to focus on, not by prepping forever, not by reading the next cool quote. Guys, you win confidence by bleeding in the reps, doing it no matter what. And you gotta be able to say and show yourself and prove to yourself, man, I didn't quit. I was at the gym yesterday morning and there was this young guy and he put on some, what I thought was heavy weight. Now I've seen him in the gym before, so I knew that he could lift it, right? So I didn't go over there to spot him because I knew he could lift it. But check this out. He got about halfway up on his second rep and totally stalled out. Now, this was pretty darn heavy weight on the flat bench. So he's down and he's halfway up and you see, oh my goodness, the struggle bus has freaking pulled up to the station, to the stop. This guy was in a different level of, this is not going to go well. He's got no spotter. This is very heavyweight. I believe he had about just over 300 pounds on there. And the craziest thing happened. I looked over, I see what's happening. And as I go to put my weight down to go spot him, check this out. This dude turns like Super Saiyan on me and arches his back, digs in his knees, his whole freaking body comes off the flat bench. The only part of his body on the flat bench are his traps or his shoulders or his delts or whatever. And he just throws the weight up. And as soon as I saw that, I said, holy smokes, like, isn't that just a beautiful testimony for life? Everybody on the outside is over here watching us, thinking they know us, thinking they know how strong we are, how powerful we are, everything we're capable of. And we've got a choice. We can accept their love or their spot and say, you don't have to figure the rest out. You know what, Phil, it's fine. You did it halfway. You're good enough. Or you can tell the world, don't effing touch me. I've got this. Main character mindset. It's just different. This dude understood a real shift. He leveled up. He was showing the world one thing, but he never lost confidence in his ability, even when the struggle got real. Because if that weight would have fell on him, it would not have gone well. But he powered it through. So guys, I want you to get from this story that we're doing these things every single day. We're powering through every single day. But a lot of times we're forgetting that when it becomes a business power through or a business shift or a business level up that we have to accomplish. All right, guys, I want to give you guys just a quick note. There are some reframes that you'll get in the Shift GPT when you look up this 30 days of delusional confidence. So when you're thinking about reframes, you can do one a day. You can do them anytime you want, but things like they're not ahead of me. They just started earlier, understanding that when someone is in real estate 2 years before you and they're super successful and you're coming down on yourself wondering why you're not, well, just understand there's a starting point that they started at. And some of them started in real estate, but others like me started in business when they were 17. So we're not supposed to be in the same place, right? Started in sales when I was 15. We're not supposed to be in the same place. I want you to say things like, most people stop here. I'm just getting started. Like the dude on the bench said yesterday. I want you to say things like, no, hear me on this. Nobody's coming to rescue me. Like the guy did on the bench. I don't need them to come rescue me. It's not nobody's come to rescue me. Oh, I wish someone was here. It's no one's come to rescue me and I don't need them to rescue me. It's saying things like, if I act like I can't fail, people will treat me like I can't. I want to change that. If I believe that failure is not an option, people will also believe in me not to fail on them. I want you to say things like, this version of me, hear me on this one. This version of me is unavailable for doubt. This version of me is unavailable for doubt. Sorry. This version of me, we don't get down with doubt. We don't even hang out in the same places, man. Like when I walk down the street, doubt's walking up the street, it goes to the other side of the street. It knows. I don't have to warn it. It already knows. It can sense me coming and it runs. Like this massive commitment to belief in who you are and what you can accomplish is part of the reason you will accomplish what you will accomplish. And then one final truth, delusional confidence, I mentioned, it's earned and it's clarity. It's earned clarity. And it happens when you believe in advance what the world won't recognize until later. It happens when you believe in advance what the world won't recognize until later. Now, one other cool thing I want to share with you guys, or cool point or tip that I want to share with you guys, is when you look up the 30 Days of Delusional Confidence in Shift GPT, when you look up this challenge, you can actually ask for 30 prompts. And it'll give you 30 days worth of prompts to just keep you on par. Like prompt number 1 is to flip your default question. Write down one doubt, then reframe it to a what if I actually pull this off statement, right? It'll just give you a task to do every single day. So you can ask it for the 30 Days of Delusional Confidence prompts, or the prompt sequence, or whatever you want to call it. So guys, this is the 30 Days of Delusional Confidence Challenge. I encourage you to take part in it. I challenge you to take part in it. I challenge you to lean on each other for support, but understand that the only support you need is the person looking in the mirror. And then, most importantly, I challenge you to stay in when it gets hard. Be the guy on the bench that says, what you see from the outside is not who I am on the inside. Never doubt me, because I don't. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. That's your 30 Days of Delusional Confidence. We've got some time here to jump into any questions you have regarding this, or jump into any other topics you all wanted to cover. Because when we get together, if you guys don't know this, we'll cover topics that I have, we'll cover topics that you have, but the key is that you understand our 3 core values. Our 3 core values, number 1 is to be authentically you. We're not here to put on a show for anybody. Number 2 is to have empathy. Understand that everyone's in a different place. Have empathy and love on the people that are here sharing. And number 3, be vulnerable. And that means that empathy becomes important because someone sharing is actually doing that. They're living vulnerability, because it's not always easy to ask questions in a group setting like this. So who's got something? Throw your hand up.